Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining me on this fine Thursday evening. I am going to be sharing an awesome card. Well, actually, it's not a card, it's kind of a note that was given to me by a coworker some 16 years ago now, I believe. So I worked at this law firm and I was getting ready to move on to a different law firm. And the one of the attorneys that I worked with, oh my gosh, his name was Glenn. He did something that was just so special and so nice for me, along with some of the other legal assistants there. Um, they gave me a going away lunch, right? So they took me out to lunch to the Hamburger Hamlet. And there was probably about maybe 8 to 10 of us. I can't remember, but it was somewhere around there. And so I'm thinking, it's just going to be a typical, go to lunch, have a burger. Everybody's going to say, good luck, yada, yada, yada. They're going to give me a card. I actually did get a card, but I can't locate that card. But I did locate something even better than that card. Okay. So my coworker, this attorney, Glenn, surprised me with, are you guys ready for this? A videotape. And this videotape is titled The Proverbs 31 Secretary. And on this videotape is a recording of our lunch and some farewell wishes that he had gotten from other people are also on here. And it was just the biggest surprise. Now it's a VHS cassette. I don't have a VCR anymore, and I'm going to make it a point to get one because I have so many VCR tapes that I have kept for so long, and some of them are contain stuff that I really want to keep, and maybe pass down to my grandchildren or something one day. This is one of the things that I'd like to keep. And with this videotape, I also got a typed up note from him, okay? So this is a greeting card. It's typed up, okay? The title of this is The Legal Secretary of Noble Character. That's what he wrote. And this is based on the Proverbs 31 wife, okay? Proverbs 31 paints the portrait of what it is to be a good wife, a good mother, a good lady who runs a good household. And that you'll find that in the Bible, Proverbs chapter, the whole chapter 31. So this says, he starts out at verse 10, goes all the way down to verse 31, which is exactly the way the Bible is. That portrait that's painted of a good wife starts at verse 10. So Glenn writes, a legal secretary of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her attorneys have full confidence in her and lack nothing of value. She brings them good and not harm all the days of her life. She submits their cost reimbursements and check requests and works with eager hands. She gets up while it is still dark for her long commute. She provides word processing training to her coworkers and a mountain of Sean's emails for charity to file. She considers office supplies and orders them. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She makes sure that Lawrence does not bother her and gets J&M to drive insanely for last-minute court filings in Fairfax. In her hand, she holds the telephone receiver and grasps the word processor with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When Teresa doesn't show up, she has no fear. She confronts her attorneys when they act crazy and reminds our leaders of the true core values of the firm. She makes file folders and fills them and sends opposing counsel and clients hundreds of emails and faxes each day. Her attorneys are respected at the courthouse, where they present arguments among the other sharks of the land. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her attorneys and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her attorneys also, and they praise her. Many legal secretaries do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a legal secretary who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her the reward she has earned, and let her works bring her praise at the law firm. Can we just pause for a minute and say bravo? That was so well written by my co-worker, the attorney that I was supporting at the time, Glenn. Glenn is such a very, very nice man. It wasn't beneath him to go out and have lunch with the legal secretaries, you know. Nothing like that was beneath him. He was a great dad, a nice godly man. I have actually visited his church once before. Good husband. I met his wife, his sons. Just a really good attorney with good ethics, a good work ethic, and just somebody that you kind of didn't mind working for. And when he gave this to me, I thought, oh my gosh, I was blown. And even now, as I think back on this was some 16 years ago, I still get misty-eyed at it because I thought, wow, this is so much better than a greeting card that you can buy, because this is his own handwritten greeting card. Well, his own typed up greeting card to me. And I thought that was just the most awesome thing for him to do. He gave me my props before I left, and he said some wonderfully nice things about me. And he made me feel valued as a legal secretary, which is what I was at the time. And I am so thankful for that. And Glenn was actually on, I believe he was on the Jay Leno show at one point. Yes. This was right after Letterman. So yeah, it would have been the Jay Leno show. So he had a little thing that he did on there. I won't talk about it, but yeah, he was on the Jay Leno show. And he was just a cool, like, how fun is that, right? And the other quote unquote card that I received was from another co-worker named Teresa. Teresa also typed up her little greeting card. Okay. And here's what it says. There is a there is a pretty gal named Lena, and she's always been the Secretary Suprema. We would like to thank you for your help each day, knowing full well it was without overtime pay. You have always had such a patient and knowing soul, and we're glad that you have an exciting new goal. Not only are you an expert in Word, you did so for us without being a nerd. Despite that, your departure to us is such a loss. Please keep us in mind if you'd like to be our new boss. In that same vein, we all will pray that your new commute will be safe every day. All of us here wish you nothing but well, and please keep in mind you can contact us by cell. Best regards, Teresa. Here's Teresa's note. Okay, I like to share these notes. Okay, isn't that awesome? What's so awesome about receiving something called the Proverbs 31 Secretary is the fact that it shows me that other people see me as being a good lady. Not just a good worker, but a good lady, a good person, a good Christian woman, which I am. And my attorney and my coworkers recognize that. And I'm going to read Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 down through 31. And then I'm going to close out this video. And when I'm done reading it, you'll understand why the notes that my coworkers mean so much to me, and the videotape that they made for me, wishing me good luck and much happiness. You'll understand why all of that means so much to me. So this is Proverbs 31. We're going to start at verse 10. The virtuous wife. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. She considers a field and buys it. From her profits, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the distaff, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is passing. But a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. The King James Version of that verse says, charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman who fears the Lord shall be praised. And the last verse, 31, give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Wow. Now you can see why I was so honored to be presented with a farewell videotape along with a couple nicely written, typed out notes from one of the attorneys I supported, and then another of the legal secretaries. I also got a farewell card that everyone signed. Can't put my fingers on that at the moment, but I did receive that. Isn't it wonderful to, know that someone valued you or thought very highly of you, thought enough of you to say so in the form of a gift like this? That's what this new YouTube channel is about. It's about um, showing people how much they mean to you through the form of a greeting card, a note, a letter, something that's written, as opposed to a phone call. Sure, you can call up your loved ones or your friends and tell them thank you, or it was good to see you, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. But notes, little handwritten notes and cards and things like that, they seem to last longer because long after you have given them the card, years later they can come across that card. They can go, I remember her. I remember him. Wow, this is bringing back so many fond memories. And that's why I keep all of my cards. I have so many cards that I've collected since the 80s, and they mean so much to me. And I just want to thank you all so much for listening to my little story tonight about my coworker, Glenn. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years now. He's still around. He's still practicing law. He's a litigation attorney. And I wish him well. And I wish all of my old co-workers well there at the law firm that I worked at in Maryland. I actually worked at several, but they know who they are. Why don't you all purpose, especially you ladies out there, to be Proverbs 31 women, okay? So that you can have nice things said about you long after you have left the scene, okay? I want to thank you all for listening to my story tonight. I will be back here again Sunday evening. I don't know what we're going to be talking about Sunday evening. I'll have to find another a special card to share with you all. But I hope you all are enjoying what you're seeing on my channel here. And if you are, please say so. Leave a comment, or you can share some of your own stories by comment. You can give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. And until Sunday, this is good night or good afternoon if you happen to watch this during the day. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.